Hey guys, so we are going to dive into the summer survival guide for your skin. So this is going to kick off our first vlog series with our new staff.
Yay!
So I am Katie. I'm one of the estheticians here. Actually, you have 3 estheticians here. So you're going to get some advice from the treatment room and some hard truths. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Ashley. So Ashley has been an esthetician for a very long time. She's also an instructor at our school. And what's really cool about her that sets her apart is she used to work in a histology lab, so she has seen the skin cancer, melanoma, basal cell, all the skin cancers down to a cellular level. So she's going to talk to you about the importance of sunscreen. And then we have our acne specialist, Josie. So she's going to talk to you about how to prevent your acne and how to treat it in the summer. And then I'm going to talk about discoloration. I'm going to talk about different types, how to treat it, and how to prevent it as well.
Okay. Awesome.
So I'm going to go ahead and start with Ashley. She's going to be talking about the importance of sunscreen with you guys.
Hey everybody, like Katie said, I am Ashley, and I am one of our estheticians here at Skin Specialist, and my topic today is definitely going to be about sunscreen. And like Katie said, we're going to give you some hard truths with love from us. So as she said, I used to work at a histology lab in Boone, North Carolina, and I was a histotech for about 3 years. So we would receive skin specimens from biopsies from the dermatologists that work there, and so a lot of times we would get deep excisions of skin cancers, melanomas, basal cell carcinomas, squamous cell carcinoma. And the crazy thing about seeing those skin specimens is that sometimes you could see the skin cancer down to the subcutaneous tissue. It's usually about that thick. Some of the excisions, some of them were thinner, but the crazy part was that you could see the skin cancer all the way down to that fatty layer of the skin, and you could always kind of tell when the doctor would need to go back in and excise some more because the margins weren't clear. And so that really got me thinking, like, all these people that need excisions, there's got to be something that can prevent them from having to have a chunk of skin taken out of their body. So that's what kind of led me, that's what kind of, and sometimes they had to have them on their face as well. And sometimes, like, they would have to have the skin taken off of their face, off of their arm, sometimes back excisions, everywhere that sun exposure happens on the regular. And so I was like, what can be done to prevent this? And so that's what kind of got me into aesthetics itself. And so that proves the point as to why SPF is like absolutely not optional. It's for all people, it's for all skin types, it's for all skin tones. And so all skin types and tones can definitely suffer from sun damage, and it looks different for all skin types and tones. You may not burn, but you're also getting that hyperpigmentation. You may not suffer from hyperpigmentation, but you may get aging that comes from that sun exposure. And that sun exposure will definitely have an effect on anybody's skin. And whenever you're thinking about that sun exposure, it's not necessarily that the sun is bad, but you do have different sun rays that are affecting the skin. And you have UVA rays, and then you have UVB rays. And so I'll kind of talk about like the difference between the two. So with UVA rays, those are your aging rays. Those are your rays that break down that collagen and elastin in the skin, and we need our collagen and elastin to keep like our skin nice and youthful and lifted and healthy, and not saggy. Nobody wants saggy skin. So that's what those UVA rays, they really do for the skin. And the UVB rays, those are your burning rays. Those are your rays that'll give you pigmentation in the skin. Those are the rays that with cumulative sun exposure, which is sort of like a little sun a day, has an effect, and it makes those changes. A little bit of sun a day can mutate those healthy cells, and sometimes can lead to skin cancer. And so knowing the difference between those rays and why it's important to know what the sun is doing to you reinforces why we need sunscreen. And so, what's up?
So what is the craziest spot you've seen in your histology lab, like on the body? Or is it typically mostly on the face?
It's it's not always just on the face. Sometimes you saw it on people's arms, back excisions. I think the craziest thing that I saw is that like it was just like a small spot on somebody's body. Like the epidermis, you could see like the spot was like super small. It was a little flaky, but the tissue that they had to take out around it and the thickness, it was on somebody's back. The thickness of that tissue and the way that you could just sort of see the dark affected tissue just running all the way down.
Oh my gosh.
In the skin, it was like that little spot, like
It was so aggressive.
it was very aggressive. Thankfully, that looked like one where the margins were clear, but you know, I'm not a pathologist, but I don't think they had to go back in anymore. But it's like a tiny tree with like deep roots. So that sunscreen is incredibly vital for all areas of the body, not just your face. And so whenever you're talking about different sunscreens to use, there's physical sunscreens and then there's chemical sunscreens, and they kind of do things a little differently, but they both protect against the skin. So like with your chemical sunscreens, they the chemical sunscreens, they get absorbed into the body, and once it's absorbed after about 30 minutes of applying, what happens is that the skin will absorb the rays of the sun, and then it'll turn it into heat and just push the heat back out of the body. That's sort of how like the body will protect against the sun when you use chemical sunscreens. And then when you use physical sunscreen, it sort of acts like a coating over the skin, and so it sort of coats the epidermal layer, and when the sun hits it, it'll like refract or reflect the light, and so it doesn't penetrate the skin. UVA rays usually kind of want that chemical. UVB, you kind of want that physical, but to protect against both, you really want to like a broad spectrum sunscreen that does a little bit of both. It protects against the UVA and the UVB rays, so you don't age, burn, pigment, skin cell mutation, none of that. So
that's what I want. Sign me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Do you have an all-time favorite sunscreen?
So I have a couple that I like, and this kind of brings me to like the world of sunscreens, because there's a different sunscreen for everybody. So me being darker complected, I kind of go for those sunscreens that really blend well into the skin, because sometimes, and that's a common thing that like stops people with darker complexions from wearing their sunscreen, which you absolutely need to, because sun damage doesn't discriminate. But the white cast is what I often kind of get from people. Like, I don't want to wear it. I'm going to look pale like a ghost. And I get it, because there are a lot of sunscreens that'll do that to people. So you have your inclusive brands, like the Color Science, that has all different types and tones of sunscreen that negate your excuse for wearing sunscreen. So the color match is really good for those sunscreens. But me personally, if you don't want a tinted one, if you're not a tinted girly, the one that I found that blends the best and is still like that whiter sunscreen, the VI Derm that we have here, as long as you warm it up really well and work it in, it does pretty well on the skin. Now, your darker complected people, you'll really kind of have to work it in a little bit more. But me personally, just as like a side plug, I like to, like for my darker complected people, I like to use like Black Girl sunscreen. It blends really well. It blends really well into the skin. But for your lighter skin tones, there's Tone Smart that I find that works really well for people. I like Tone Smart because it just blends really nicely into the skin.
That's the one I use, and I enjoy it. We carry it here. It's like a tinted, so it comes out and it can kind of go to your complexion a little
Like a
bit.
color match almost.
It's kind of like foundation without wearing foundation. It kind of gives you like, it's not full coverage, but it gives you a little bit of coverage too.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna drop some tea, so we're actually gonna start carrying Color Science.
I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited. Can you talk about color science really quick?
Yes, so Color Science, they have skincare, but they also have tinted sunscreens, like Ashley was talking about. But they have makeup that is actual sunscreen, not the makeup that you buy that has a little bit of sunscreen in it.
It's not gonna do anything.
It's literally like fully like SPF, right?
Full SPF, and it's broad spectrum. So they have the tinted ones, which those actually blend with your pH level, and they actually work really well blurring everything. They're acne safe. They have hydrators in them too. They also have powders of every different kind. I really like the clear powder to do the scalp.
Ooh,
because you can get
Never
sunburn
think
in the
about
scalp.
your scalp. Yes.
So they have powders like that. They also have lip colors. So I have a lip shine right now that has peptides in it, and they're pigmented. They also have pigmented sticks. So they have a bronzer. They have a bunch of different blushes. And those sticks you can actually use, obviously, on your skin, but you can use them on your lips. You can use them on your eyelids.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So that's actually kind of what we're going to start gearing towards is less makeup, more sunscreen. More skincare. So we're actually going to have those options for all of our clients too, to switch over to a sunscreen based makeup.
It's so exciting.
I love that. Yay.
I'm so excited for it.
I love that. Whenever Color Science comes in, I will be definitely finding my color.
Me too.
Definitely be finding my color.
I love it. I made the switch a few months ago and I'm never going back.
Are you wearing it right
Yeah.
now? It looks so good.
It does. It almost looks like you have on makeup.
Yep. The only thing that isn't Color Science is my eyelashes.
Wow.
Facts,
But they
Woo.
do have a mascara that's tubing. I haven't tried it yet.
That's amazing.
I like
Maybe we
it.
can bring that on.
Yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
excited about this brand. I'm excited that we're going to bring it on.
Yeah. I will be finding my color
It's
and
gonna be
using
good.
it. Yes.
Yeah, because it's so hard to color match, especially our darker skin tones. And like,
Definitely.
no one wants to look pasty when they leave here. So having an option.
And that can
That
even
is
scare
difficult.
people away from wearing sunscreen,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
not the goal. Like,
Yeah,
not
Not the goal, like not the goal at all. Like that's like one of those common myths that people, I don't want to wear it because it leaves me with a white cast. Well, we just eliminated that for you, and now you
Right.
have no excuse not to wear
True.
your sunscreen.
No
True.
excuse.
No excuse at all. So like whenever we're like talking about sunscreen though, like even if you don't happen to burn, you still need to wear sunscreen because of the skin, because of the sun damage that can happen because of the aging, because of the skin mutation, the skin cell mutation. So it's just really important to continuously wear it and reapply it throughout the day. That's where a lot of people mess up. I'll ask them like, "Are you wearing your sunscreen?" They'll be like, "Yeah, I'm wearing my sunscreen daily, but I'm still pigmenting, or I still look like I'm getting older." And then I ask them, "Are you reapplying it?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, you know, I didn't know I had to." I'm like,
And
yeah,
that's when those powders come in. Like, you
Yes.
just reapply throughout the day.
absolutely. And so like the time that you should like reapply is definitely every 2 hours. You need to be reapplying your sunscreen unless you're swimming or sweating, and then you need to reapply a little bit more soon, because if if you wipe your face or if you get in the pool, like it's diluted and you need to reapply to maintain that protection throughout the day. So making sure you reapply your sunscreen is very important, and making sure you reapply your sunscreen is very important.
What is
Yeah.
your favorite treatment for hyperpigmentation and the sun damage?
I like doing VI peels for people, because VI peels is inclusive for all skin tones, all Fitzpatrick's, all skin types. There's a VI peel for everybody. And after I do a VI peel, I make sure that I tell them that your sunscreen use for the next 7 to 10 days is law.
It's a lot.
Is law. Like it's not, like it's non-negotiable.
Go straight to jail.
No,
I'm gonna start
straight
saying
to
that.
it is
I'm
law,
stealing that.
okay? Like straight to jail. It'll feel like your face went straight to hell if you don't, because it will burn if you don't wear your sunscreen.
Very
You're gonna have
sensitive
more
after them.
hyperpigmentation.
More hyperpigmentation and more damage than what they started. So
Yeah.
ultimately, with your SPF, the important thing to remember is that you want to protect your skin at all times. So SPF, do it.
SPF it
For
up.
sure.
Also, if you have a spot, when in doubt, get it checked out.
I know,
Yes.
please.
Like, especially if like you have a scab that continuously comes and goes, or if you have a mole that suddenly doesn't look the same as when you first saw it, go get checked out. And wearing your sunscreen is excellent preventative measures so that the dermatologist does not have to see you to get an area excised when you could have just wore your sunscreen and took care of yourself.